Welcome everybody to this edition of Attention Talk Video. I'm your host, ADHD and attention coach, 𝐓𝐘𝐒. God, I've been doing this for almost 20 years and it blows me away how I keep learning stuff like more and more and more. What's interesting is that the more I learn, the more I'm boiling things down and simplifying things in a way, but also kind of getting to the crux of it. So recently, I engineered a new field of engineering called cognitive ergonomics from the inside out. It's not ADHD ergonomics, it's cognitive ergonomics from the inside out, and it's designed to help fit a task to the user. Ergonomics is about fitting a job to the user. This is about fitting the cognitive task to the cognitive abilities to the individual. All this is a subfield of systems engineering, which is a whole field of engineering. There is a field called cognitive ergonomics, but it's from the outside in. Mine's from the inside out. Anyway, as I've gone out and talked about this, people are talking to me like, wow, you use a lot of really big words and really important concepts. And it's been interesting to me because they're right. I mean, there's no question. It's the reason I'm doing that is for a couple of reasons. Number one, I've got to relate it to some things that are like a metaphor, and a lot of those things are somewhat kind of complicated. And these concepts that I'm coming out with that I'm explaining are they're paradigms. We're conditioned to look at things a certain way. So in other words, if you believe the world is flat, and I'm saying that it's round, what? Like you're not going to be able to see it because your cognitive bias is going to look at everything I talk about as if the world is flat. So I have to do a lot to get people to get out of that, to look at the evidence, to see what's going on. So why am I telling you all this? Well, the reason I'm saying this is I'm finding more and more that people with ADHD, particularly through the lens of cognitive ergonomics, are paying attention to the wrong thing. They're going down a path and they're looking at something and they're seeing. I did a video on strategies and tips and how a strategy is a plan, but it doesn't. If the plan runs into the problem, it doesn't work. They're not learning how to problem solve. And so where I'm going with this is often they don't want to hear the context. The context. So let me see if I can illustrate this. I often work with people and to try to help them understand, I say, what 2 days start with the letter T? And they'll go Tuesday, Thursday. And I go, what are you paying attention to? And they go, I don't know. Like, what? I go, you're paying attention to the days of the week. If you pay attention to the days of the week, the answer is obvious. It's Tuesday, Thursday. Then I go, is there another answer to the question? Some of them like, no. And some of them kind of like, I don't know. And I go, well, what about today and tomorrow? If you pay attention to past, present, and future, yesterday, today, and tomorrow, you get today and tomorrow. Okay. Then I say, is there another answer to the question? And they go, no. And I go, what about the 3rd and the 10th? If you look at a calendar, you get a different answer. Here's the point. You have this stuff that you're paying attention to, that's a level of attention that defines what's obvious. All right. Again, he's getting heady like this. What is this video? Like, you're making me think too much. Well, I am making you think because I think often people are not really saying, oh, this answer in the context of the days of the week, and that's not working. Maybe I should look at a calendar. Maybe that would work. By the way, this is a metaphor. And so often I'm trying to explain on YouTube channel and other places something that's as obvious can be, but people don't hear it because they don't want to understand the context. They just jump to the answer. I mean, watch the news. People will take snippets of phrases that they said and put it all over the news, but the person says, I didn't say that because it was a phrase within a bigger context. You need to understand the bigger context to understand how that phrase relates to it. Again, why am I going through all the trouble of doing this? Well, if you've got ADHD and you say I've got an attention problem and you're impulsively going to one thing or another, one of your problems is you're not stopping and understanding context. So you keep searching for things in the wrong place because you're taking them out of context. What's this all about? Well, if you don't have the self-awareness that that's happening, there's absolutely nothing that's going to change it. If you have the self-awareness, you can pause and maybe look at around your rule and say, this stuff isn't working because I got the wrong context. Or go talk to somebody about the context. But again, if you don't have the self-awareness first, that you're jumping to answers without understanding the context, there's really nothing that you can do about it. Been doing a lot more videos about self-awareness because people with ADHD, they're drawn to the easy answer and has them pay attention to the wrong thing. So one thing that I like about my viewers on this channel is that I get a lot of comments sometimes. It's like, oh my God, you get it. Like you really, matter of fact, you're direct. Well, I am direct because these are those issues. And most of you that are following me, you're listening to the context. That's why I'm grateful to you. There's a few that don't, but anyway, I hope this has given you cause to pause and think. There's a lot of value in what I said if you spend some time looking around yourself. So if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. We try to be as direct and hard hitting and say this is what you should be paying attention to. If you're an existing subscriber, what do you think? Again, is this too heady or does it make sense? Also, we do what we do for you. Certainly love it when people hit the thanks button. So we hope you enjoyed this edition of Attention Talk Video. Take care.